Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Amanullah. You're watching my YouTube channel, Dr. Aman's video. Dear viewer, today we are going to discuss that how would you process urine for bacterial culture and sensitivity on the bench of laboratory. So the story of urine culture start when you receive a urine specimen with an investigation request that urine for CS. It means that the physician or clinician want this urine to be processed for the bacterial culture and sensitivity. Urine culture is performed in order to rule out the bacterial cause of the urinary tract infection. Now, as we know that the most suitable specimen for urine culture is clean cage and midstream urine. I have already discussed these things in my previous lecture of specimen. So clean cage and midstream urine is a preferred or required specimen for the urine culture and sensitivity, though there are some other way of collections of urine specimen, but they are very rarely used. Therefore, we always focus on the most common procedure or most common phenomena occurring on the bench of clinical laboratory. So you will receive a urine specimen which would be clean cage and midstream urine specimen. Now, the second thing, if you want to process that urine, if you are not able to process urine immediately after receiving the urine specimen, then it is always better or it is always recommended to store this urine on fridge temperature, which is 2 to 8 degree C, and you can store for 48 hours. So when you are going to process that urine for bacterial culture and sensitivity, first of all, we need to choose media for inoculation. In case of urine, only one media is recommended, which is clad media. I have already discussed in my previous lecture. You can see my previous lecture on clad media. So this clad media is recommended for the urine culture, and it has the ability to provide environment for the growth of all the possible pathogen of all the possible bacterial pathogen of urinary tract infection. So we inoculate urine specimen only on cysteine lactose electrolyte deficient agar, which is clad agar. Now, how do we inoculate urine on this media? Here is one question which is very important to share with you, that in the urine specimen, it is very important or it is mandatory that you will have to count the number of bacteria per ml of urine, because a lower number of bacteria can be the result of contaminant organisms which could be present at the opening of the urinary tract. Therefore, it is very important or it is always recommended to count bacteria per ml of urine, because when there is 10 power 4 bacteria per ml of urine or more than 10 power 5 number of bacteria per ml of urine, then we count it as a result of bacterial infection. But if it is the number of bacteria is lower than 10 power 4 or 10,000, 10 power 4 is equal to 10,000 CFU or bacteria per ml. So if it is lower than 10 power 4, then it could be the result of contamination. Therefore, it is recommended to count the number of bacteria in the provided urine specimen. If it is above 10 power 4 CFU per ml or 10 power 5 CFU per ml, then it would be the result of infection. Otherwise, it would be considered as a contaminant. But there are very few cases. In those cases, we count or we consider lower count of bacteria per ml of urine as a result of infection, like if a patient is on antibiotic treatment, or if a patient is patient has a very compromised immune system, or if it is in the case of pregnant women. In those cases, we will consider less number of bacteria than 10 power 4 CFU per ml of bacteria as a result of infection. Now, how can we count number of bacteria per ml of urine? This is very important. If we want to count or to measure the number of bacteria in per ml of urine, for that it is important to take or to measure the size of inoculum, because this size of inoculum will make us able to count the number of bacteria in per ml of urine. Therefore, in case of urine, we always measure the size of inoculum. So, the recommended size of inoculum for urine is 0.002 ml, which is equal to 2 microliter or 2 micron. So, in case of urine, we take inoculum of 0.002 ml of urine, or in simple word you can say that we inoculate 0.002 ml of urine on the surface of clade agar. So, this size of inoculum can be taken in two ways. One, you can use wire loop of 2 microliter size, or in other way you can use a strip of filter paper which suck 2 microliter urine. I would like to show you that a strip of filter paper is like this. We dip in urine up to a mark which has been mentioned, though this is not a strip, this is a paper, but it is an example. So, we dip into the urine up to a mark, and we place it in the urine for 20 seconds. During this time it absorbs 0.02 ml of urine, and then we take out this strip from the urine and we place or inoculate that urine on the surface of the clade agar. So, we can use two method, one is the wire loop and the other is paper strip. With the help of any one of this method, the method of the paper strip is more recommended and more commonly used. So, we inoculate clade media. Then what we do, we incubate that clade media at 37 degrees C, or usually 36 degrees C is more preferable, under aerobic condition, because there is none anaerobic pathogen responsible for the urinary tract infection. Therefore, for the purpose of isolation of bacterial pathogen of urinary tract infection, it is always recommended that clade is enough to isolate any of the pathogen under aerobic condition at 36 to 37 degrees C. So, next day what we do, we take the plates of clade agar and we observe for any visible growth. First of all, we look for the visible growth on the surface of the plate. If there is any growth on the surface of the clade medium, then what we do, we count the colonies produced from the inoculum which were inoculated on the media yesterday, right? What we do, first we observe for the growth or the colonies, then we count that colony. For example, we have inoculate that area, and now these are the colonies of bacteria. What we do, we count the colony, like for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like let's say there are 20 colonies on the surface of the clade agar. So, it means that one colony, because we assume that one colony is always originated from a single bacterial cell. So, if there is 20 colonies, it means that there were total 20 bacteria present in the inoculum. Again I repeat, if we have 20 colonies, it means that there were total 20 viable bacteria present in that inoculum. So, therefore, 20 CFU colony forming unit per 0.002 ml of the urine. What we got? We got that there were 20 CFU. CFU stand for colony forming unit, which indicate a single number of bacteria. So this means that there were 20 bacteria per 0.002 ml of the urine or per 2 microliter of the urine. And what we want to measure the number of bacteria in per ml of urine. So how can we calculate that? Come. If we divide 1 ml into 500 equal parts, then what will be the size of each part? Again I repeat, if we divide 1 ml into 500 equal parts, then what will be the size of one single part? That will be 0.002 ml, which was the size of our inoculum. So if we have got 20 CFU per 0.002 ml, then what would be the number of bacteria in 1 ml? So what we do? We will multiply this 20 with 500, because 20 was the number of bacteria in one part of ml, and we have divided 1 ml into 500 equal part of 500 equal part. So we will divide 20 with 500, which is equal to 10 raised to the power 4 or 10,000. Therefore, if you inoculate 0.002 ml of urine and on the next day you got 20 colonies, then you will go for further processing, because it could be the result of an infection. But if you got number of colonies lesser than 20, then it means that your CFU will be lesser than the 10 power 4 per ml, then it could be the result of contamination, and you will not go for further processing, and we will report that we got the growth of the pathogen, which could be XYZ, which is insignificant, because the growth of the pathogen below this CFU is insignificant, and above 10 power 4 or 10 power 5 will be counted as a significant growth of a pathogen. By word significant, we mean that it would be the result of an infection. Now, going forward from the count of the pathogen, therefore, urine culture is commonly known as a semi-quantitative or a quantitative culture, because we quantize the number of bacteria in per ml of urine. So now on the surface of clade agar, you will look for the possible pathogen in urine. So what are the possible pathogen in urine? Most commonly E. coli or other member of Enterobacteriaceae, which include Proteus, Providentia, Morganella, Serratia, and some other non-fermenter rods like Pseudomonas. And among gram positive, the possible pathogen could be Staphylococcus aureus or Staphylococcus saprophyticus, and the most important is the species of Enterococcus, which is Enterococcus faecium or Enterococcus faecalis. So these are the most common pathogen of urine, and you will have to observe for the specific colonies of these bacteria on the surface of the clade agar. If you see that the colonial morphology is more like gram negative rod, then you will have to look for LF and NLF, lactose fermenter and non-lactose fermenter. So it is LF, then again you will go for key, Klebsiella, E. coli and Enterobacter, and these three can be the pathogen in urine. And if it is NLF, it can go for Proteus, not Salmonella, Proteus, Pseudomonas and another Aeromonas and some other less or very rare pathogen. If it is gram positive bacteria, then again you will go for Staphylococcus, which are catalase positive bacteria, or if it is catalase negative, then it could be the species of the Enterococcus. coccus. So these are the schemes or diagrams which can be used on the bench of laboratory for the enumeration of the possible pathogen in urine. When you concluded your visible information and you also apply biochemical test and you got pure growth, then what you will do, of course, on this day, on the second day, if you have started with day 0, then it is day 1. If you have started with day 1, then it is day 2. So it depends on your count, that which count you take for your culture. So I take 1 and 2. So the day of inoculation was day 1, the day of the growth is day 2, and now at the day 2 what will we do? We will process that possible pathogen for the antibiotic susceptibility testing, and again we will incubate the plate into the incubator. Next day, which is day 3, we will observe for the zone of inhibition against tested antibiotic, and we will prepare our report and enter into the laboratory information system, LIS. So it was all about the urine culture. I shall stop here, and I would like to request you, if you are getting benefit from my videos, then please subscribe my YouTube channel Dr. Aman's video, and also try to hit bell icon in order to get notification for my upcoming video. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. Fi Amanillah.